So, welcome to another episode of Play to the Whistle podcast with myself, T.Dot. Today, I'm joined by former Bristol City, Reading, Middlesbrough, Swansea, former England U21 international, Leroy Lita. How you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. I'm all good. How you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm good, man. I'm very good. I'm very, very good, man. I want to start this proper, so I want to take it all the way back if we can and talk about the early days because you're born in Congo, came over when you was 4, 5 to England.
5 years old. Yeah, came
Five,
over when
man.
I was
South London.
yeah first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
East
Yeah,
London first. Belgium first. East London, South London.
right. I hear that.
Then
I hear that. Yeah. Then one of the first questions I want to ask you actually is when did you realize that you wanted to? When was your first sort of rah, I like football? This is what I want to do.
when I started going down the park to play with my friends, and then they were telling me I was good at it. I didn't know the levels or anything, but it was a bit easy for me compared to them. And they told me I was good, and everyone was talking about me and stuff about it, how good I was, and so that's when I started taking it serious.
Mm. And then obviously fast forward a couple of years, you started playing for, was it Margate you were playing for?
Yeah.
How did you go from Margate and then what was that transition from Margate to Chelsea picking you up or scouting you and then how
Uh,
did that come about?
I played for Margate, not even the School of Excellence at the point. I, I was playing, I think, under 12s, um,
Mm.
a year above as well. I played a year above, and the scouts came down to one game and just this. I played well. I scored three and set up three. This after the game, I can't remember um, the scout's name. To be fair, he's a good guy. To be fair, he used to drive me down there as well. And he said, "Yeah, Chelsea want to have a look at you." I was like, "Okay," a bit excited. A Chelsea fan as well, so went down and had a trial, and you know,
Mm.
it's just that it's got stuff going, man.
Yeah, man, that's mad because obviously at that age you're how old are you at that age? What, 15, 16?
No, 12, 12,
Oh, okay, that's
12.
mad.
So
That must
yeah,
have been
but
mad.
I was only playing football for about 2 years before a team came in for me. So
Right, okay.
it was yeah, it was good, man. I was excited because I was like I remember my room. So Ian Wright was my hero,
Mm.
and he's the one that like I wanted to be like. But and then I had a thing for number eight because of him. So in my
Mm-hmm.
room as a kid, I used to put every member you get the match books,
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
player that match magazines. It's buy that every week, and every number eight player I got to put up on my room. And I remember I had like Scott Gemmell,
Yeah,
Steve
man.
McManaman, Stan Collymore, and all
Mm.
them guys are all on my wall. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna want to be like that one. I want to wear number eight in the Premier League one day.
Mm.
So yeah, I just I was so determined, and no one's gonna stop me.
So them times as well, when you're at Chelsea and you're a youth player, was that still like the way of like cleaning the players' boots and shit like that? You had to still do all that then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I was used to. I was still at school, but I used to have
Mm,
2 days off. Days, 2 days off,
mm,
to go and train with the first team and reserves and so on. So I used to see all the your Zolas, um, Frank McBuffs,
mm,
Desai's, Celestine Barbiaro,
mm.
um, John Terry, all them guys. And
Right.
so it was great to be around them because you get to see what it takes, and they're really they're all right people, and only a few of them like took time to speak to you, but I learned a lot from them just
Which,
by observing.
which ones would you say that that because that squad then as well? We're talking about 99, like that kind of era, 99, 2000,
98 to 2001. Yeah,
2001. So you had like Viali, like you said, Zola. Who else would have been Di Matteo, Tor Andre Flo. That was like the just before the Abramovich time, in it. So Ken Bates would have been there. Viali would have been manager.
yeah. Viali was manager first, and then Claudio Ranieri was manager. Um, yeah, so all them having all them guys around the top players at the time as well. I didn't go in there starstruck. Like people were expecting me because when I went back to school, everyone was gassed. Oh, so and so. I'm like, yo, keep bringing me shirts to go and take in and all that. I'm
Madness.
like, I'm not doing it. I did it for one girl because she was cool. and yeah, they're like, can you get me so and so's boots and blah blah blah. I remember Desai gave me these boots. Like, I was like, but they don't fit me, man.
Yeah, that's mad though, man.
I,
Like,
don't,
that's mad.
I don't need them. So I think I gave them to one of my school friends or something like that. So
Mm,
yeah,
yeah,
it was fun like that. But for me, it was serious because it's what I wanted.
yeah. Focused on it, fully focused on what you needed to do. But at that time as well, I wanted to ask you because obviously the youth setup was different as it is now. Obviously, like it feels like more now that youth systems are set up for youth players to propel and go into the first team. When
I don't
you
think
was,
it is.
you don't.
No, I don't
Okay.
think it is. Um, the the game's different now, so
Mm,
I see that. I think it's a lot easier to get through now,
mm,
but it doesn't prepare you for what comes with everything.
mm,
I know they say they've got this psychologist, this.
mm,
Nah, that will teach you nothing. And you have to go in it and with a hard head
mm.
because you know what I mean, a strong mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because the things that come, you can't practice it. So you can know about it, but you really learn when you're in there. You
Mm.
don't. It's not something that someone could teach you.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
have to be. You have to do it to really understand and appreciate it. And so I don't think they do that, and it's. I don't think there's a way to do it either because a lot of young players, you're seeing them just.
It's true, man.
I mean, so quick. You know what I mean? So quick. And I know that's happened in the past, but I think now it's happening a lot more because the
Mm,
things they got to deal with, you get people talking about how they're feeling and everything like that. I know your well being is important. I respect that, but
mm,
there's certain industries that don't give a shit about that.
That's one of them, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, football is one, and they don't. So it's just one of them. It's not made for everybody,
mm.
no matter how good you are, naturally talented or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I hear that. I think like going back to like the Chelsea kind of thing that when you was at the youth setup there, it didn't like there wasn't many youth players coming through. Like now you've got like a Loftus Cheek and um Tammy Abraham, Reece James, them kind of players that have come through the youth setup and that. When you was there, and obviously your group, and obviously like other like Leon Knight's group and all that kind of stuff, like was any of the coaches even trying to push you guys to be in that first team discussion, or even try and put you in a conversation to be around the reserve teams and all that kind of stuff?
That's something you got to ask them. But I don't think well, they were trying. Well, we're coming out of school. A
Mm.
few of us were coming out of school to go and train with the first. So we thought we was being pushed. But then you got to bring in like what year did Abramovich come in? 2001
Yeah, three,
or three? Or,
2003. Yeah, yeah.
okay, so in that time, I think John Terry was the only one that's like
Mm,
made it through until up until a few years ago.
two or
So
three.
with that, because the money came in, a lot of managers didn't really pay attention to that, which
Mm,
they're like, well, I can go and get so and so who's already established, and because the
mm,
chairman's paying the money. But that's not don't make it right. But yeah, the young players coming through, I remember them pushing Danny Jeffries, and he ended up falling out of love with football. My group is the best
yeah,
player
yeah.
in my group. To them, I was the best player to me. To them, he was the best player, and they're pushing him so hard, and he ended up falling out of love with football.
Mm,
So yeah, I don't think Chelsea Academy was great for that at the time, and there weren't enough players coming through. I remember John Harley got a little bit, and maybe
oh
one
yeah,
or two
yeah.
others, but Stevie Watt might have had a little bit,
Mm,
but not too many got. They went right like John Terry. They put him in. Don't get me wrong, he's a legend.
mm.
They put him in, and he established himself. I think he broke through like 19 or something like that.
So was Leon Knight the age group above you, or was you in the same
Now he was 2 years above me.
2 years? Right. Okay.
Yeah. So he won't tell you this story though. When we was under 16s, we played the under 19s at
Mm.
Cobham, and we beat them 3-2. We beat them. We beat them. We was in shock, and they got. I remember like it was funny because after the game and that we
Mm.
were all like happy and we beat
Yeah,
them and I said
Gaston.
18 or 19 we'll beat it at 19s, blah blah blah, and they all just sat down on the pitch and
Mm.
Jim Duffy was going in on them. Like, I was like, oh, then that's when they pushed the three of us to go and
Mm.
train with them and the first team resis and that. So
Yeah, man. That's mad when you think like obviously, you know, that level of football that you man must have been playing at that time as well to even beat that age group that's what for nearly 3 years, 4 years older
yeah,
than your group as well.
yeah.
That's madness, man. But after so
2 years
then
because most of the under 19s are 17 year olds.
19s, yeah,
Yeah,
it's true, man. So after that kind of couple of years at Chelsea, when was that, like 2001 then?
got released. Yeah,
Yeah. Like
yeah.
you then go on trial to Fulham, play
First,
against Chelsea, 2-2. Something was it 2-2?
2-2. Yeah.
You scored the 2 goals.
Yeah.
Uh,
Scored an overhead kick and a free kick.
how did you feel after that? After obviously being let go by Chelsea, you go on
Um,
Fulham's books a little bit. The trials there.
yeah, I was down, but I was like, this is fake, man. My first
Mm,
trialist game is going to be against Chelsea, against all the couple of the year below, because all of us, the ones that got released.
mm,
There's no point going back in it. So, yeah, I knew them, and I just thought, let me do my thing, and bagged a couple of goals, and I thought, yeah, here we go, and then Fulham said to me, we want to give you another year as apprentice, not
mm,
apprentice, schoolboy forms instead of apprentice. And
mm.
I didn't want to do that because I was that age, left school, need to get a job.
The money.
Yeah,
Mm,
but then after that, I rang Jill and then went and played for them. I can't remember exactly which. I went and played for them in the trialist game. They told me no. So when I got my job and everything like that for a couple of months, I was just like, this ain't for me. And so I just rang up the clubs and, someone, I was just had in my head, someone will say, come down and have a trial. So
mm.
yeah, and say yes to me. So I rang Bristol City and Bristol Rovers and they both told me to come down.
Right. Okay. And then because when you sign for Bristol or you join Bristol, you're joining on a YT contract at first, aren't you? And then
Yeah.
you played
I
in the
only did one.
reserves.
I only did 1 year at under 17s.
Right.
So
Okay.
I got top scorer for the under 17s. Didn't play the under 19s at all. Didn't play reserve football. Just went from that. Came back then second year of apprentice.
Mm,
Pre-season, we all trained together. First team 19s, reserves, and us. And so we like literally. I was winning everything, like all the tests,
mm,
all the running, and everything like that.
mm.
And then yeah, the system manager called me on a on a Friday and said, "You're with us tomorrow." And so I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I always thought I was doing the water. I was doing
Mm.
the water or something, carrying some kit or something like that. But when I got there, I actually had the kit on, and I was like on the bench, and I was like, "Rah, I'm involved." Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, man, it's mad. And then obviously the manager came over, called me, and said, "You're going on, son." I can remember his word. "You're going on, son." Danny Wilson, thank you.
Mm,
Yeah, and I went on, done a few bits. We won a penalty, and I ran and got the ball, and just kept hold of. So I'm taking it. I know. I think the senior players in the first team in the squad, they thought this kid, who's this kid, man? But
mm,
and they knew it's to them. They're already established, and they're like, "Oh, go on then, mate." Yeah,
mm.
but I wasn't gonna let anyone take it anyway. So
Yeah, I hear that, man.
took it, scored, and then got another chance. Got one, got another goal, and then celebrated like it was a World Cup final. And
Yeah, have
the
to, man.
fans loved it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what was it like from, because at that point Bristol City would have been League One, right? So then you've gone from like Chelsea. around like World Cup, Marcel Desailly, all these kind of players that you're training with. Then you go to Fulham. Then obviously you go to the Gillingham. You ring around. You get your contract at Bristol. What was it like, that kind of transition from obviously youth team set up and now you're first team at Bristol? What was that kind of transition like for you?
Um, moving. I'm not a person that gets phased by things and all that. I know exactly what you mean by the question, but it was, for me, it was just like, all right, I've dropped down now. I have to go back up, and
Mm,
that was my mindset. I was like, League One's all right. All of my family were proud of me still, and my friend. I wasn't disappointed that dropped. I didn't drop 2 leagues because I wasn't playing in the Premier League.
yeah, yeah.
It's my chance to get started. So, yeah, I just thought, it's a good stepping stone for me, and it's a good club. Fans made it amazing for me. Good people around. Moving down there as well, there's people from London, so it was easy to settle in.
What was it like as well? Because you mentioned Danny Wilson, and what was he like as a gaffer to work for?
Um, he's all right. I think he handled me well at the time. He liked his experience at the time. He liked his experienced players because he knows what he's going to get.
Yeah, yeah.
With young players, they're finding their level, aren't they? So,
Mm,
um, he give me a bit. I didn't make my full debut, like league debut, until the second season.
yeah, yeah.
So that's why he's put me on here and there, like just to get experience. Thinking back now, I've experienced myself what he did for me. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but hopefully he did. It was perfect. It worked
Mm,
perfect for me because he was giving me a bit here. When we're winning, he might not put me on because the game's done, or when we need something, put me on to make an impact, or put me on to just close the game out, try and help close the game out, get a winning goal, something like that. So bit by bit, I get that. I fully understand that, and yeah, I always respect him for that. I played for him again, but his whole philosophy
mm.
changed when I went to Barnsley
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I walked in the change room. I was the oldest player at 29. at, at
Shit.
29. So
Yeah, man. We'll get on to Barnsley at some point. Um, I wanted to ask you a question actually around, because I think, is it your last season at Bristol? You ended up in the playoff final. Is that right?
the year before that
Year
was.
before, sorry. So you get obviously to the playoff final. You're the only fit striker, I believe, at the time.
Yeah, fully fit.
Fully fit striker. You walk into the dressing room, you see your name's not on the team sheet, and you see you're not on the bench. What's going through your head?
I'll tell you what I did, exactly what I did. Me and Clayton Fortune didn't even watch the game. I went into the bathroom because I was crying, man. And
Mm.
Clayton Fortune, he followed me in. He was the only one. And he just grabbed me and gave me a hug and said, "Don't worry, man, your time will come." So we went into the bar and at the Millennium Stadium.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I walked in there because you had families and friends and blah, blah, everyone in there. They're like, "What are you doing here?" My Marvin Brown, my roommate,
Mm.
he went to me, "What are you doing here?" I went, I'm not involved." They went, "What? There's no one fit." I said, "I'm not involved." Yeah, I went to the bar, got myself a Malibu and orange, man, and just drank that all afternoon. And we came back out when the game was done.
Did you ever get an explanation as to why that
Nah,
even?
I,
Nothing.
no, never. I never even asked. I'm not one to. I just thought, okay, cool.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It's
Mm.
done. Move on. You know what I mean? I didn't soak on it. I was upset at the time, but then
Mm.
got to keep moving, man. You got to keep moving.
Yeah, man. And at that point as well, you break into the England team, the under 21s, which was very unheard of because I don't think there was many. You can correct me, but I don't think there was many League One players touching international level football at that time.
Yeah, I was the only one in the squad. Everyone else. That was the year after that when I
The playoffs.
after that. Yeah, I went in, got caught. I was in the bedroom just chilling. I was living with one of my teammates at the time, and I was in the bedroom. I got a call from a lady from the FA, telling me, "Yeah, you've been selected for the England U21s." I was like, "What?" I'm in my head. I'm like, "I'm still in League One, man." And got there, and obviously everyone's playing in the Premier League, and I was just like, first session, I felt good. I done all right, and Cole pulled me. See, I always got like Cole was with me at Chelsea when growing up,
Mm.
and he pulled me and said, "Bro, you don't look out of place. Keep doing your thing."
Yeah, man.
You know how so many young kids, I don't hear anyone telling them little things like that. They
Mm.
don't pay attention to
It's
it.
important.
It's important because when
Mm.
he came up, because I only knew a couple of people there, and
Mm.
we didn't really. I was in a room on my own as well, so I didn't really
Mm.
get to chat to no one. And when Cole came over, they gave me confidence as well, and I was thanking for that. You know, because he's one of the good people in the game.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and yeah, so I played the game. Um, the manager put me on about half an hour, 20 minutes ago. We're losing 2-0, and I scored. And
Mm.
I celebrate anyway. But it was a friendly. But for me, it's more than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
more than I know. Now I know them little bits made
mm.
made so much difference for my mindset and my confidence in that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And
yeah, it was crazy that I was the only League One player to be selected, but a grateful one.
I was gonna say at that point, even in the because your debut was against the Netherlands, but even in the England squad, who was the like who was in that team? Then that would have been a mad team, even at that point in your career. I'm trying to,
The England squad.
yeah, yeah. I'm trying
Uh,
to think who would have been there. That would have been like,
I have to, you know what? You forgetting it. Sometimes I just read. I have to read the names on the shirt, on
yeah,
my shirt. Um, who's in that squad?
would have been like Ashley Young, them kind of players. Done. Would that have been that kind
No, he hadn't been. He hadn't even been in that squad yet.
of?
Um, yeah, that's mad, isn't it? Because he was.
Yeah,
Where's he
man.
at Watford? And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
That's what I mean.
they're in the champ.
Mm.
And I think like Colton Cole, Dean Ashton, Darren Bent.
Mm.
Um, trying to think who the left backs are. Can't remember. Right back, Justin Hoyt. Goalkeeper, not a clue. Can't remember exactly
Mm.
who the goalkeeper
It
was.
would have been filled with like Premiership, some
Yeah, all
Championship
Premier League.
players
Yeah,
there as well,
they're
isn't it?
all
Yeah.
playing in the Premier League and
That's
doing
mad.
well.
Yeah.
They're all like really established in themselves.
Mm.
Because I was that when I got in that squad, it's my first full season like playing every week.
Mm.
So because the manager was one of the manager who came in after Brian Eddie Wilson was Brian Tinian.
Right.
And he used to like talk on a coach for away games for like 2 3 years.
Mm.
I used to sit with him, Lewis Carey, um, Mickey Bell, and sometimes Scott Murray. So we used
Mm.
to like they're brilliant for me. They're
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
guys. They just get me young lad just get me laughing the whole time. And and Brian Tinney said to me on the way back from the playoff final, if I ever get the job, mate, you'll play for me.
Right. It's mad. That's mad. Is that what year did you? Because you scored the 29 goals. Was that the your final season?
2004, 2005, yeah.
Yeah. So that would have been your final season at Bristol City.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, was there any discussion that you were going to stay at Bristol, or was it just the fact that Steve Coppell and was it Steve McDermott at the time at Reading, they were interested? Sorry, Brian, they were interested, weren't they?
Yeah. Now, first of all, Bristol wanted me to sign a new contract. The chairman, I got injured for this. Is mad how they tried it. Um, I got injured. They're thinking I was going to be out because we were trying to make the playoffs and we
Mm.
missed out in the end. But I got suspended and I had to miss the games. No, I got injured. Sorry, suspended. I was worried. Um, it brought me to this hotel. The chairman and the manager,
Mm.
and like young. I think I was 18, 19. Sat down. Chairman's talking away. I don't really know what he's saying.
Mm.
He puts this sheet on the table and with the numbers on it. I just went like that and just kept looking at him dead in the eyes and let him speak. He said, "Yeah, that's telling me that's what we're gonna offer you." Blah
Mm.
blah blah. I'm like, cool. Um, let me go and talk to my people and let you know. I did sign that contract.
uh,
Yeah, I did sign that contract. Just like I think the numbers they thought I was gonna go
gonna
like,
entice you, innit?
yeah, like a young lad. I was like,
Mm,
I'm not. I got bigger plans than this. That's not gonna make me jump at
mm,
nothing. Nothing would have at the time, and yeah, I think they're a bit shocked because
mm.
it was like 3, 5, 6, 7 times what I was on
Yeah,
like
so it
at
was
the time. Yeah,
yeah,
and I was like, no more. I know my worth then, innit?
mm,
So
yeah,
I
it's
just
true.
carry on. I got 1 year left on my contract. To finish the season, I just get a call for. Just bought my first apartment, and I was all settled, thinking, yeah, I'm happy, man. I got my own place,
Mm,
and the chairman rings me, Leroy. Yeah, we've accepted a fee from Reading for you. I was like, right,
right,
okay.
right.
Then rang my agent, and he told me he's going to speak to them, let me know what's the deal, and all that. And then I said, just get me down there, man. It's a league above. It's another step
Mm.
for me to where I want to be.
Yeah, because you signed, they broke the record fee for you, didn't they? I think it was 1 million at the time, or
Yeah,
around those kind of figures. But Redden,
yeah,
obviously, Steve Coppell was interested; he wanted you, and then you signed for the million. You score on your debut, I believe, Plymouth 2-1.
yeah. Lost. Yeah,
Oh, you lost.
yeah, lost
Yeah,
2-1.
it's
So
madness.
I
But yeah,
scored to make it one. I scored to make it 1-1, but we lost the game in the end.
do you think that that step up was what you needed at the time? Obviously, you said it was you're obviously gone from League One. You just missed out on the playoffs that season with Bristol. You then go up with to Championship with Reading. Was you ready for that step up? Do you reckon at that time?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted to test myself in champ. So
Mm,
I wasn't really. But Reading was down the road as well, so
mm,
I stayed in my. I stayed in my. Well, they put me in a hotel, but I wasn't enjoying. I was staying in Bristol and getting someone to drive me up and
mm.
drive me down for training and stuff because I couldn't drive at the time. And yeah, I just thought, see what I can do in the championship, and we started off well. And then, before I knew it, I was in the Premiership with Reading. I didn't
Yeah, yeah.
expect that, but that wasn't. I didn't ever think that.
Mm.
At the time, I just thought do well for them, and hopefully a Premier
See
League
what
club will come.
happens.
Yeah,
Mm. And that squad at Reading as well was I'm trying to think. Shane Long, Stephen Hunt, Kevin Doyle, Stephen Sidwell, Michael Dubry was probably there.
he came
No,
towards the end. Yeah, yeah,
towards
he
the end.
wasn't there. He came in my last year there.
Right,
So
right.
last 2 years there.
Yeah,
I was like people like Dave Kitson, Bobby Convey,
yeah,
Sonko, Inga Marson, Goodison, and all that. Nicky Shorey,
yeah.
uh,
It's a mad squad.
Marcus. Yeah, it was not that squad weren't expected to do that.
Mm,
No one expected that squad to do that. If
mm.
you if you ask someone to name a player from the record number, we got the record in it, record number of points.
108,
We're 106, 106, 106.
106.
With with that squad, no one would expect that because there's
Mm,
better squads in the championship, but we were
mm.
just a great team.
Yeah.
And when someone got injured, whoever came in done the job because
Mm.
we was all on it and
What
all is mixed with experience and young, hungry players.
what was Steve Coppell like to work for as well? Because
You know what? In training, he didn't say much. Just observed and pull your side and chat to you now and again about what you need to do. And yeah, he he the way he worked was so like unique compared to all the managers I
mm,
played for. All his assistants done a lot of the things,
right.
but he'll say that one thing to you and it just spark you and he'll pull you and give you little targets and stuff like that, and not say, uh, this is what you should be doing. This is what I expect from you
Mm.
from the next 5, 6 games. That's it. Not in a bad way, just like,
Yeah, yeah,
and you're like, cool. That's what he's asking from me, and he does that for everybody. I'll talk for myself. He done
yeah.
that for me to work because they give me little targets, and he didn't say I want you to get 30 goals this season. He'll say
Mm,
these next 5 games, 6 games, I want you to do this, boom, 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 boom,
mm.
and that worked perfect for us.
And that seems to have worked because, like you said, you got promoted. Um, what was it like knowing that obviously you're going into the Premiership now, you're at the top level of English football. You're obviously going to be returning to Chelsea and some of these other big clubs as well, like Manchester United, Man City, Liverpool. You're going to be playing against the greats of the greats in England. What was that like knowing that you was going to, you know what I mean? Like you've kind of gone from Chelsea youth team, you've had to drop back down, you've had to work your ass off to get back to the top. What was that like?
I was injured when the day we got promoted, and I
Mm.
was injured, so I wasn't even at the game.
You broke it. Did you break your
Um,
ankle?
yeah, bro, bottom of my tibia.
Right,
So,
right.
uh, and it's clean break, so it wasn't no ligament damage or anything like that. So,
Mm.
um, I I was so excited. I was thinking next year we're going to be playing in Premier League. I've always this was my dream. But pre-season I came back, first game, a bit nervous and that because I was still carrying my leg a little bit. You know
Mm.
when you have it in your head.
Mm.
I scored five, and I was like, I think it was at Didcot somewhere like that. I scored five in that pre-season. I was like, I'm all right, man. I'm blessed, man. My leg's all right. And then I was like, come on, get ready for the season. And I think the manager kept the same team from the last game from the previous season, which is unbelievable.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I was on the bench. Dave Kitson got injured just before half time. And I came on. Well, did I come on before half? I came on before half time or
Mm.
at half time. So, and to make my Premier League debut, and it was 2-2 when I came on, and ended up scoring the winner.
Yeah, because you two nil down against, was it Middlesbrough? I think he's 2-0 down.
Yeah, and
I
then we
think,
came back 2-2,
yeah,
and
you
then
Kubu and Stuart Downing in it, I think.
is that who scored? Yeah, I don't remember
Yeah,
their scorer. That was a
yeah.
fight. I scored the winner that year.
Then you came on and scored the winner, man. I remember the game. I remember the game, man. That was a good game.
Yeah,
But then obviously you go from in that kind of like Premiership status level. I think you scored two against Chelsea, Stamford Bridge that year.
one.
Was it one?
Yeah, with 2-2, I scored one. Yeah,
You scored the one. I think you scored Old Trafford as well.
yeah.
And then Etihad or whatever it was called then, or Manchester City Stadium, whatever it was called then.
Yeah.
Um, so you've had some like just talk me through the moments, man. Like what was it like to score at Old Trafford? Obviously, there was fans there then as well. It's not like now where it's like just empty, you're just looking at seats.
To be real with it, at the time, you don't go, oh, people keep saying it, but you're like, well, what
You,
can I
you,
do next? What can I
mm,
do next? People keep saying to you, oh, you scored it. I remember watching the match of the day and I scored I think it was a game it was after the Man United game, getting home watching it. And the commentator was saying he scored at Old Trafford this season, Anfield and
mm.
Stamford Bridge and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I didn't really notice that. You know what I mean? But
You
until someone
focus on the
said it.
game, innit? You focus on the
Yeah,
game.
you don't think. I remember, I'm not a fan. I was a player at the time. I
Mm.
wasn't thinking about that at all. So you don't until you finish. Like now, when people say, I was like, it's not bad, is it? So, but at the time, you don't really care.
The end of that season, is this the season where Reading just miss out on UEFA Cup by a point? Is it a point or a couple of points?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
point. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That would have been obviously good for yourself as a player to be playing in that kind of European tournament as well, man. But I wanted to talk about after the Reading sort of time as well,
Mm.
because I think you decide to go on loan, or did you go to Middlesbrough? Was that on loan, or did you get you?
No. I went on a free. My contract was done at
Right.
Reading. So I had a few options, and Gareth Southgate went and sat with him.
Mm.
I had some lunch, and I said I love this guy, man. It's cool,
Mm.
and ended up signing a deal there, and that's how that happened.
Was
Because
there any?
he had been trying to sign me for a year or something like two
Right.
transfer windows. So, but Reading wouldn't let me leave the club, but then I ended up leaving for free.
So then, because so Brendan Rodgers came in, didn't he, at the back end of your Reading career as well? I think.
Well, I left Reading when I met Brendan in a hotel.
Right.
Um, he just round the corner from my house. When he took over as Reading manager, when I met him, he's like just telling me his plans and how he works and stuff. And he wants me to re-sign for the club, and I was like, yeah, I'll have to, we had a good chat, nearly sold it to me, but I just had in my head, I've been here 4 years, I need time to move on, man. And plus, it wasn't it wasn't the reason I didn't resign. He would have been the only reason I would, because I didn't get on with the people, the board, and certain people around the club. I didn't really have time for.
Because
And
you went.
some of the things they're doing, if I write a book one day, I'll tell her all that. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I need to move on, and went to Middlesbrough. I went to Celtic first to have a look up there,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, I went up
Too
there.
cold.
No, yeah, it was end of the season when I went up there, so it was still warm, innit?
It was
So,
warm. But I was going to say you went on loan to Charlton as well before you
well,
went to Borough. Did you go to
yeah, because I was
Charlton, Norwich?
Charlton and Norwich,
Right.
because I was trying to leave Reading. The only way I wasn't playing at Reading. I told him I want to leave, and Steve Coppell said to me, you can go on loan, first on loan. He went, you can go on loan, but you can only go to one place. I was like, where? He goes, Charlton. I said, cool.
It's
Because
football,
Pardew's
then.
his mate. Alan Pardew's his mate, and
Right,
they
right.
worked. And I was like, you know what, Charles, I'm from South London, so get me down there. Spent, I think, 3 months down there. Came back, and got relegated. And then the next season, the champ played a few games, then got dropped again, left out for a couple of months. And I was like, right, I'm going to need to go on loan again. And they said no, as per usual. And then Norwich, they're struggling at the bottom. And they say, you can go there. I was like, cool, man. I don't care. I just want to play football. I went down there, scored goals. Fans loved me again because, as I said, I know why I was being held back for some reason. I don't know. They didn't like the way I spoke or whatever, and they're telling me I can only go to a certain place because there's loads of teams I could have gone to at the time, but they only left me. They wanted to be in control of everything. And the second loan to Norwich was because they thought the team struggling at the bottom. I wouldn't fancy it. I drove down there, man. Let's go.
That's what
You
I'm
know what I
saying,
mean?
man. You're
So
about the football, though, innit?
yeah. So I'm gonna play this. So let's go. And Glenn Roder, another guy, got time for him, man. Treated me well, man. Like looked after me and that. So he's top man. I thought top man.
And then moving over to the Borough thing now. So you sign, I think August 2009, around then, start of the season. Yeah, just talk me through that kind of time at Middlesbrough. What was it like? What was it like living up there as well? Because obviously it's totally different to down south as well.
Um, I did enjoy living there. I drove back down to London most days. Um, um, yeah, but being in the club, it was good setup, and the manager was brilliant. A great bunch of lads. One of the best groups I've ever been involved in. We're all like similar ages, and yeah, good characters. Tony McMahon, who sat next to me in the change room, got to know him really well. He's a top man, and I still speak to him today. Yeah, I thought with Southgate, we would have got at least playoffs, but whatever reason they sacked him, I'll never know, and hopefully, we might never know because it has to come from the chairman or whoever decided make that a decision because we're second in the league, 1 point from top, and they sacked him.
That's
We
mental.
played Derby. 1-3-1 or something like that. Managers had after the game after tomorrow off. We all went out in Yarm near Middlesbrough. We had some food and drinks sorted out for us, and then everyone's looking at their phone, getting texts. The gaffer's gone. The gaffer's gone. We're like, what? Nah, shut up, man. Everyone looking. It's true. And to be fair, the next day the gaffer called all of us,
Oh,
every
really?
single player. He called every single player and just said like, thank you for your efforts for him and everything. He didn't moan and groan about being sacked or anything. Just said like, thank you. I said to him, what happened? They said, don't worry about it. It's just football. You just concentrate on doing well for the club.
That's mental. Who came in after South? Was it Gordon Strachan? I'm not.
Yeah.
I've heard stories about him from other. I want to hear your views on him because.
I got no views on him, man. Nah,
Okay.
my views on from when he came into Middlesbrough, he came in with some mad ego. arrogance, rude,
Mm.
stubborn,
Old,
stuck up.
old school mentality.
No, I don't. Nah, you just can. No, there's nothing wrong with old school mentality,
Mm.
but he just was rude and horrible. Like I remember Mark Yates. I always say this one. Mark Yates, great guy.
Mm.
Swear, one of the funniest guys in the changing room. Lively, keeps the team morale going, the team spirit,
You need
banter,
that as
everything.
well.
Yeah, he's one of them. And
Mm.
I never seen someone destroy a player because after about 2-3 weeks,
Mm.
so Yates he was coming in like he's down. You know what I mean? And
Different
Yates that's
person.
not his character. Yeah, because in training he would stop the session and target him because he's doing that to players. We know now
Mm.
he's treating players a certain way so he can get them out. And you know what I mean? Managers do that, but the way he did it was nowadays we call it bullying
Mm.
because we played Newcastle away and we lost 2-0. After the game, we went in the change room. He's going in, blah, blah, blah. And then goes, and you fucking Yanksy, blah, blah. I can't do a Scottish accent, so you get that. And you, why didn't you fucking stop the cross, blah, blah, blah. Yanksy went, I went on the pitch.
Oh
He
shit.
was soft. We all had to look round and go, hey, he went on the pitch, he was soft.
Fucking hell.
And then he just got up, walked out, and went. And then by the January, Yates is gone. I
Yeah.
I can I could tell you a lot more than what Andrew Taylor won. It's mad how he just like that's how he went on about getting players out, which is
Mm.
bollocks. And I'm not a fan of him one bit. I don't know him as a person, but as a manager, a coach, brilliant coach, training was great, but as a
Mm.
manager, he was terrible in that for that team.
Like after that, then you go over to. So how did it end up Middlesbrough? Sorry. So.
Tony Mowbray came in after that. They sacked Strachan after about a year. For a year, we had about a year and a half of him. Jesus, man, how did we deal with that? And yeah, because he used to do things like our Christmas party and that. We
Mm.
played Peterborough away. He said, if we lose, you have to come back on the bus and um, meet your bus to go into London somewhere else. If we lose, we drew 2-2, and he still made us do that. After that, I didn't even want to speak to him. I had enough. I was like, I'm just going to play football. I don't care what we do.
Mm.
I just, I hope we just will survive, but not get relegated. Get this guy out, man. No, I hope
Mm.
they get him out. But we had a year and a half or something like that. Yeah, it was because he took us away. We had a preseason.
Mm.
No. Listen to what I just said. Preseason.
Oh.
So the season's done. Yeah, the season done. The season's finished. He made us meet up with 2 weeks or 3 weeks after the season's finished. He made us meet up in Malaga,
Mm.
Spain,
Mm.
to do a running with the army people and all this madness. We're in holiday, man. We need to switch off.
Yeah, it's
But
true,
he was
man.
trying to, brother, he's trying to destroy us.
That's
Honestly, because the
mental.
running he used to make us do, he was trying to destroy us. And but we fair play to all the boys because everyone was. I think one player didn't turn up.
Mm.
Julio Arca didn't turn up. He went to Argentina.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
where he's from. It's his one time a year to go and see
yeah.
his
Go home,
family,
see the family,
and
and
you
that.
go home. You can't take that away from someone. He gets one chance a year.
Mm.
One.
Mm.
That's important to him.
Yeah, hundred
So
percent.
he was doing all that madness and making them up. We done a preseason, running up these hills with barrels of water and carrying logs and it was nonsense, man. I don't even remember football training. I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
it sounds like
And
military.
after that we just like just everyone who was there got there just fucking so disappointed. I don't
Mm.
know what he's trying to do because our characters we was doing all right. We
Mm.
was 1 point off top when he came in,
Mm.
and then he just messed it up, man. Just messed it up. And then Tony Mowbray came in and switched it back, got everyone together again.
Mm.
And if I got him in earlier, we would have made the playoffs. We finished just outside
Mm.
because he seen like everyone's face. and then everyone, the team spirit, he, just picked all that
Picked
up.
everything back
What
up.
I loved about Mowbray was his first meeting. He brought the first team, the youth team, all together,
Right, right.
and then he said, "Okay, if you're 16 or 35, if you do well for me, you'll be involved." And
That's
that,
fair enough
what,
them as
what,
well,
more-
isn't it?
yeah, what more do you need? That's what
Mm,
we needed. We had so many Strachan's bringing these ex-players from Celtic or
mm,
wherever, Scotland, and I'm just like, these players are so dead. We had so
mm.
and so before. We had so and so before. You brought in this. Come on, man. We know. Okay, I respect that he done well for him and he needs to look after him because Middlesbrough's wage bill was good. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
high, so he's trying to look after the boys who did well for him. I respect that,
Mm,
but for the ones that were trying to go back out, he ruined our change room.
mm. And then you leave Middlesbrough, 2011, right?
Yeah, Swansea by me.
Swansea, yeah. So then again, that team as well. I'm trying to think, 2011. So you would have had Ashley Williams, Nathan Dyer, Scott Sinclair. Were they all in that kind of team? So that was Leon Britton as well. Leon Britton was in that team as well, wasn't he? That team as
Yeah,
well, wasn't
Leon Britton,
he? Flipping hell.
Alan Tate, Gary Monk, Rangel Angel, um, Neil Taylor, Daddy Graham, Wayne Routledge. Um, I came in as number two, and
Mm.
Brendan, obviously, because he's trying to get me before he liked me.
Yeah, yeah.
He tried to get me at Watford as well,
Right.
and he bought. And he brought me in, and he told me, right, I've got Danny Graham's number one, but I want you in our squad as backup. So I was like, you don't turn down going back in the Premiership.
Of
It might
course,
not
man.
happen with Middlesbrough, so I just moved, and it didn't work out for me down there because the team was flying. Didn't settle, got fed up, and went on loan a couple of times. And yeah, it's not. It wasn't great football wise, but the people there within the
Mm.
club and people around the club, brilliant people. I always talk to them. I still speak to a lot of them now. And it's a club I've got a lot of respect for because the people there within the club treat you,
Proper.
like a human being, man.
Mm. No, that's what you
Not,
need
not
as a footballer as well. I'm assuming,
some,
you know.
sometimes you do, sometimes you do, but sometimes yeah, yeah. But we know in football that don't always happen. So when you do,
Mm.
you're grateful.
No, I hear that. I've heard a lot of people talk about Leon Britton as one of the best players that they've played with, whether that's training or against or whatever the case is. And can you vouch for that? Obviously, you train with him every day.
I'm a striker, and
Mm,
he's good for people who want to keep the ball. Yeah, he's brilliant, and he's brilliant keeping the ball.
mm.
But for me, I like midfielders who look for the striker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's a good player to get things going, do pass, but he's never going to kill you with a pass. You know what I
Mm,
mean? His pass is always 10 yards here, 5, but he
mm.
does that well. He don't lose the ball. Yeah. But I'd rather have a midfielder who does try to make
Looks for
that
the
pass for the
forward pass.
striker and lose it a few times. So
Mm,
I know what people mean by that. For someone who he keeps the ball, he don't even lose the ball in training. So yeah, he's good at that. But
mm.
I would
As a
say he's one
striker.
of the for a striker, he's a nightmare.
Mm. Oh.
Get the ball and he passes to the left back. Oh fuck
Yeah, I hear that, man. Yeah, man. So Swansea, you go on loan. It's not happening at Swansea. Then you go Birmingham. I think was the first one, wasn't it? I think the first loan.
When Brendan left and Michael Loudrick came in, he left me out the squad completely. So I was like just not not involved, just training. And Birmingham came in on Birmingham and Crystal Palace.
Mm,
Guess who got promoted that year as well?
mm,
Crystal Palace.
mm.
I chose Birmingham. Bad decision, man. And to be fair, Wayne Riley pulled me and went, no, Dougie's cool, man. He'll look after it. I was like, cool. Let me think about it. I went Birmingham,
Mm.
and because I know Lee Clark was assistant manager at Norwich when I was there,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, and he he's a that club was a mess at the time, so I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't like it. So I just went off the rails a little bit.
Mm,
Just done my own thing, and I tried to enjoy my life more than concentrating on football because I was fed up and just everything at that time.
Was you living in Birmingham at the time as well, or did you?
Yeah, I was living in a hotel. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I know Birmingham's a bit nightlife there as well, isn't it?
I lived in a cube.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm saying no more.
Yeah, everything walking distance.
Yeah, say no more, man. I used to live around the corner from there, so I used
Yeah,
to be,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, man.
You
But
know what? Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
There's a
but
little club I used to go to around the corner. I won't say the
yeah,
name.
yeah. I hear that, man. But so then obviously I think so. That's what 2012. You're at Birmingham
Yeah, something
around
like
them
that.
times, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think 2013 Sheffield Wednesday.
Did I go Brighton first? Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday, the
Sheffield
one after.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. I still had a year left at Swansea after that, and I thought I might as well go and play towards the season. Loved my time there, like fans
mm,
again. That's how I started enjoying my football again. You
mm.
know, being a part of the team and playing every week, every minute, and yeah, so I enjoyed that.
Then Brighton.
Brighton, yeah, Brighton. I went down there. They needed a striker. But I didn't even start at the first game. I thought I was coming in to play. Came on
Mm,
against Yeovil or something. I was like, I think Ashley Barnes was the main striker. That's no, look, they're Argentina, the
mm,
Argentinian who played for us, Leicester. But he was injured, and Ashley Barnes was the only fit one, and I came in. Team was doing all right. We played Bournemouth away. We drew 1-1. I didn't even come on.
mm.
I was just unused sub, and we went back in the change room. I can't remember the manager time was Oscar
Yeah.
Garcia, and his assistant. Um, I was fuming. His assistant coming after the game and went right. Um, all the players who and stuff subs who didn't play come out and run. So I ain't coming out running, man. I said, get me out of here, man. It's bullshit. He went, what? We're probably like looking at me like I'm crazy.
Mm.
I went, I ain't coming out. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
then he's going over. Right, I'm not coming out. Listen to me, bro. If you asked me 4 times, I ain't coming, man. Yo. So I just got in the shower and rolled out. And I didn't play for Brian again, I don't think.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because then on a Monday, this is so bullshit. On a Monday on training, they went at a meeting when, right, we're so disappointed about the result, blah, blah. Um, but within the squad, I get this. Within the squad, if the assistant manager asks anyone to do any running after the game, we have to do it. They didn't even say, Leroy, you didn't. They just said it to
Mm,
the whole
mm.
squad. And everyone knows me.
Yeah,
And I was like, I just sat there and just went, you couldn't, you can't even say it to me, but because you want to talk. Everyone knows it's me, so you should be
just
telling me
say it to you,
yourself.
innit?
Yeah, no, they already know.
Mm.
So it's just, I know what he's doing. I was just like, whatever, man. And then I didn't play for Brighton again. Finished alone and left.
So then,
I went back to
Did you go back to Swansea at that
yeah,
point, or do you go straight
yeah.
to Barnsley
No,
for
back to
that?
Swansea. Back to Swansea, and I think at that time Michael Laudrup ended up getting sacked,
Right. Okay.
and Gary Monk took over. Because when Michael Laudrup was there, the reason I went on loan because he was making me train with the youth team.
Right. Okay.
Not I had a problem with that because I was helping them.
Mm.
I took it as like my training for coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he left me out of the squad and trained with the 23. I wasn't even with the first team. Yeah, so he got sacked. Gary Monk was being treated the same as me, but he
Mm.
was still training with the first team because he's club captain.
Yeah.
He wasn't involved in the squad, nothing. And he got the job.
Right. Okay.
And he pulled us in a meeting his first day because I wasn't doing anything bad. A couple of things. I missed a few training sessions.
Yeah.
Um, he had a meeting in the canteen and telling everyone's like, just happy that it's someone that you get on with is a relief from Loudrop because he's
Mm.
doing everyone's head in. And he had a meeting. I said what he had to say, and then he went, Leroy, you back with us, mate? I was like, yes, Mom. I went, sorry, Gaffer, sorry.
No, that's mad.
Yes, we were back with us and then trained well, and I got back in a few times. And, I wasn't going to get back in the team. I would have been involved in uh, some of the European games, but
Mm.
Michael Laudrup didn't write my name in the 25-man list, whatever. So
Right.
we went, yeah, so it's all right. But I got back involved a little bit, played, I think, come on 2 or 3 times. And it's the end of my year there. And I think so much has happened this time. I was always never getting a new contract. So
Mm.
okay,
Had you had
it's
enough
fine.
at that point at Swansea though? Like you thought, I need to
Not
just
not not of the people in the
no,
club.
no, but of
Just like the situation. I think,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
just want something fresh and just forget that it's in the past. And then,
Mm.
yeah, after that, I think where did I go? Barnsley, I think. After that,
Yeah. Is
signed for
that when Danny
Barnsley.
Wilson was there as well?
Yeah, he rang me and because I was out of contract, I was not at no club at the time, and the phone weren't ringing that much.
Mm.
And Danny went, "Hey, come, you can come. I want you to come down, man, and play for me." I was like, "Yeah, I know Danny," and I
Mm.
went up there and played, but he worked in a different mindset. And like I said to you earlier, when he always had experienced players and always got in the playoffs all around it,
Yeah,
always
yeah.
around it. When I got there, I was 29 and I was the oldest player in the squad. So I was a bit confused. I was like, huh? So he had players like um, that were like either 18, a lot of 18-year-olds,
Mm.
19, 21, young, and
Mm.
me and a couple. Martin Crane, I think, was a senior player, not too many. Connor Hurahan, he was young then as well.
Mm.
So yeah, it wasn't what I expected. And once I got in and started getting going, I did enjoy it. Driving back to London every day,
Mm.
didn't want to stay.
That's
Had
a
a
drive and a
had a
half.
thought. Huh?
That's a drive from Barnsley to London.
Yeah, it's not bad. 2 hours. So
Mm.
um, I lived in Sheffield, though, and
Sheffield.
I had an apartment in Sheffield. So I'll stay Thursday and Friday, but the rest of the time,
Mm.
majority of the time, I wasn't there. So
Yeah, that's mad. That is mad because obviously I think at the time as well, Barnsley were they League One as well. I think
yeah,
they weren't doing so well as well, were they at that time?
we was doing all right. We started off all right. I
Mm.
don't think it was we weren't a problem, but I just when I got in the door, I just like
You
I
realise
knew it was it was a mistake to come here, and the club had no like it's just flat and
and no
dead.
ambition.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I don't know. It just felt flat. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Mm.
Especially the players they're bringing in. Um, yeah, I don't think we'll do anything with that team at the
Mm.
time.
Yeah, man. And then you go on then to Notts County.
Yeah.
What was that
Well,
like?
what's his name? Lee Johnson came in as manager at Barnsley.
Mm.
So I knew I wasn't going to play for him
Mm.
just by the first conversation we had. Just there's something there. Yeah, I've heard loads of stories
Mm.
about him and his dad and stuff like that. I just knew from the start because the first away trip, I can't remember who was playing. Got on the bus, sat down. Everyone sat down. He comes on the bus. Do you know what he said?
Mm.
No earrings on the bus. No
That's a
earrings.
madness.
I swear
What's
on
that
my
got to
mum's
do with
life.
football?
What's that got to do with you?
Yeah, it's true.
It's not them days where you say you got to have your beard, you got to shave clean and all that. Or I'm like, they didn't even have. I'm like, when I just sat down, I was like, I rang my agent. Cause he just told me to just come on the coach and announced that earrings are banned from the bus.
Mm.
You know what he said? We're done there, man. We're done there. You know what I mean? I didn't take them off.
Yeah, nah, you can't,
I kept
man.
mine. I was like, what's my earrings got to do with you?
With anything,
I didn't
yeah.
take them off. He came on the bus and said, no earrings. I knew that was me done there. And he never played me, left me on the bench or whatever. And I just like, Notts County wanted me to go on loan and play. I was like, it's a shorter drive to London. So I just went. And Notts
Yeah.
County, that club, don't talk to me about that club because I don't want to go through it, man.
When you moved from, you decide to go abroad. This is the first time in your career you go to Greece, and you sign with, is it Hania you sign with? So you pronounce them, yeah? And then you go there. Is this where Well, I need to ask this first. Is this where the match fixing thing happened? Because I've heard this story before.
I went there. My agent said we've got a team for you in Greece. If you want to go down, I went down. I had a look. I was like, "This is a lovely place. It's sunny every day.
Yeah, man.
Training was brilliant. Train at 4 o'clock. Enjoy it the whole day, and then just train in the evening. Um, and I liked it. I liked it. Pre-season was like 2 months though.
Right, okay.
They hadn't. The season was meant to start obviously normal time, but then they delayed it till September. So from July, from August to July to September was just pre-season training, playing a game now and again when we can get one. And yeah, it was long, but I was like, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a new challenge. Started off, we was all right. We won the first game, and we're getting momentum and stuff like that. Then certain things started happening, and I was in shock. I was like, why is he? Ball's gone over the one of the other team have knocked the ball over the tops, going up for a goal kick. Our centre half's going, boom, making sure it goes out for a corner. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And I was like, cool. I knew that stuff happened, but to see it, you have to see it to believe it. And then next game we played Olympiacos, the president, the chairman, the roadman. He's coming. He's coming the change room going in Greek. I sat next to Alex, his name is. I remember. He spoke quite good English. Yeah, I said, "What's he saying?" He said, "My friend, don't tackle today. Don't get the yellow card. No yellow cards today." And and something about they had to give away, lose by a certain amount of goals. I went, you know what you just said in English? He goes, "You'll see," and it happened. Yeah, then it happened the game after that again. And I said, "This is I've had enough." Went back and packed up and chilled on the beach for a little bit, and then flew home, bro.
That's mad. But in terms of that's just a crazy story. Like you said, you have to be there, I think, to
You have to see
really
it to believe
understand
it.
that. Yeah, you've
No,
got
it
to.
happens. No, it happens. I've
That is
seen it.
mad.
This is not an opinion. It's not no opinion. It happens. I've seen it. So trust me, it's crazy out there.
What was the level of football, and apart from obviously that match fixing kind of side of things?
It's irrelevant now, isn't it? Because that match fixing, the things were happening all the way through. So certain people, I remember at half time, my teammates will be on their phone, putting on bets.
Mad.
So
that is mad.
I don't know. Then they all clicked, and I was like, I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
So it's something you have. They're literally on half time. The manager's there, everything chatting. The players doing their bets. No lie to you. It's crazy.
That's madness, man.
Yeah.
You go from there, you come back to England, and then I think was it Yeovil was next.
Yeah.
So that was 2016.
I came back, didn't have a team. Yeah, I came back, didn't have a team, and I can't remember this. Darren Way rang me and said, "What's Leroy?" They went down there, and just played to the end of the season. Just I was thinking, just keep ticking over, and then something better will come up at the end of the season. I had to wait another 6 months. 6 months till something decent came up.
Yeah, man, and then you go back to Thailand then as well. So this is where you went to. Sorry, yeah, you go to Thailand, go back abroad to Thailand, and then when was that? Was that 2017?
2017. I think the 3rd of January. I went to China first.
Was that to find a club in China, or did you just
I had a club there, but I just said
right.
I couldn't. I'm not signing. I can't live there.
Yeah, okay.
I couldn't live there. I would struggle. And it's a long, long way from home.
100%.
You can't get a taxi home from there. I'll tell you that. Then on the way back, I had a Thai team offer me something, so I went. It was only a 5-hour flight, so I went over, had a look, liked it, and people really nice and nice place, nice, good weather, nice training ground. I thought, yeah, this will do me, mate. So I signed. Yeah, I enjoyed it there and spent a year there. Enjoyed it, great experience. I went back after the first. I'd done a year there. After that, I was going to go back.
Right.
But
Okay.
went over there and I was like, you know what? Let me just try and get something back home, man.
Mm.
I was actually there. I was there. Went back um, after I came home. Went back over there, and I was like, let me just go and find something at home, man. Nothing came up, bro. So
Mm.
and I just ended up calling that day.
So then, yeah. So then you kind of retire. What we say now? That the year after
Yeah,
that year in Thailand, so 2018/19.
yeah.
What are you? So you're still playing now, though, aren't you? So you
Not a professional now. I play now. It's fun.
so it's fun now, yeah.
Now it's enjoyable again.
Yeah, yeah, I hear that, man. So, and
Yeah,
that's a Nuneaton, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that what's that like just for you now? There's no like you
That's
said,
exactly. It's fun,
it's fun now.
enjoyable. It's good to
Yeah.
be involved in just football. It's just
Mm,
football. You know what I mean?
mm,
What you started playing as a young kid from, you feel like that's just football. You know what I mean? There's no
mm.
politics involved or anything. You
None
just
of the
go and play
bullshit.
football. Nah, just play football. Go
Mm.
home, play football, and go. And I coach for them as well.
I
So
was about to ask that. So
I coach for them. I coach the college and joint thing. There's a college and joint with the borough, the
mm,
Nuneaton borough thing. So it's good. I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I
mm,
do miss it, man, because I don't know. Everyone misses everything they do because we're in lockdown. But yeah,
mm.
it's been good for me, man. Really enjoying it.
Yeah, man. Is that something you want to? Obviously, you're still playing at the moment, but and you're doing the coaching. Is that something you want to try and continue to do?
Hundred
Obviously,
percent,
yeah.
100%. I want to be a coach as well. I want to be a manager. Hundred
Mm,
percent. As I said, I always say I worked my way up. As I
mm,
did it as a player, and you graft and show people that you can achieve things, and that's how I want to do it. Man, I don't. Good on you if you can just jump straight in, but
mm,
not for me. I like the graft of things. I like it. But when you
mm,
start, you appreciate things even more because
mm.
you know what I mean. So I do want to do that. I want to be a manager.
Yeah, I hear that, man. And I think obviously you look around like Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two. There isn't really many black managers and coaches, so it seems like the way that for black managers as well, they have to kind of go from that level. It's not like a Frank Lampard fast track to the top. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like for me that's wrong anyway. Because if you're good for the job, you should be doing that. But
Yeah,
so
but we already know this in life.
it's
Life is the
true.
same thing.
It's
So it
true,
don't
man.
matter. When I see it, I know it already.
Yeah,
So in
100%.
life, everyone in normal life, that's how it is.
It works
We
the
know.
same
I know
way.
people trying to change it. So I already know that, innit? So
Mm,
I don't need anyone to tell me. So I'll show you.
yeah,
You know what
100%,
I
man.
mean? I'll show you. You know what I mean? So we already know that. We know,
Mm,
and that needs to change. It's not fair.
mm,
It's hopefully it's going to change. People taking notice now. People talking about it at least
mm,
anyway,
mm,
which is a start. Before no one said anything, innit?
100%,
So
man.
it's not even where Frank Lampard's been a legendary player. For me personally, I would say he deserves but he deserves a chance at that club because he's done so good. But
Mm,
what about people like Sol Campbell?
mm. Yeah,
We
it's
know
true, man. It's
that.
facts.
Where he has to start where?
At the
Lower
bottom.
down.
Mm,
Wayne Rooney, legend. We can go on. We know the reasons,
mm,
but we have to change that and we'll help that change for the generation after us and after. I don't know how long
100%.
it takes. We might not be alive to see it.
Mm. Could be our
But
kids' kids.
yeah, we could be. We
Mm,
might not be alive to see it, but let's try it because
mm,
we're here. We're talking on the phone.
mm,
Yeah, our generations before us.
mm,
What did they go through?
it's
It's
true.
not for us to be in this position, so we have to go through the nonsense. It's not as bad as them, but it's still not great. Still the
Mm,
same thing, same problem. But let's do it
mm,
because I don't know. I believe God gives you life again, innit?
mm, mm.
So if you come back in, I don't know, 50, 100 years, hopefully it's a big change. But we ain't
Things
gonna
are
see it.
different. No, it's true.
Unfortunately, we ain't gonna see it. So, but it's our job to change
To
things.
change
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
100%, man. My,
That's all we can do.
my last question for you is what advice would you give yourself now, give your younger self, that all the stuff that you've been through, in terms of football,
I
what
wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change one
there
thing.
we go.
I wouldn't tell myself nothing. Like
Mm,
I would, the way I did it, I didn't have no favors. So
mm,
many things that I know that went against me now, but I wouldn't
mm.
change one thing.
It made you who you are, innit?
Yeah, that's how your life is meant to be. You either
Mm,
learn from things or you sit there and say ifs and but should have, woulda.
mm.
No, I
It's
wouldn't.
true, man.
Not one thing I would change.
100%. Listen, Leroy, honestly, I appreciate you taking the time out, man.
No problem.
I know you're
We
like,
got we got plenty of time, bro. Don't worry.
listen, I don't know what's going on with you, man. You could be busy doing other stuff, but I appreciate you
I've
taking the
got
time
my
out.
little girl. She'll be awake in a minute. So
Yeah, man. I appreciate you taking the time out today and speaking to me. But listen, yeah, man. Enjoy the fun times at Nanita, and then hopefully, obviously, good luck with the coaching as well. Um, appreciate you and coming on. So yeah, man. Thank you.
no problem. Keep speaking, bro. Keep talking to get them stories out to them youths, man.
Will do, Leroy,
If
man.
it touches one, that's a good job. That's a job done, man. Do you know
Hundred
what I mean?
percent,
So
man.
that's what all we can do. As I said, you can't keep speaking because there's too many people who give up. Life's
Mm.
beautiful, man. Let them people stop you. We know what the situation and that people stop you, but you still keep going.
We gotta
And
keep going, man.
that's for everybody. So let's make changes. Yeah.